bothers me about 5th edition. They don't have a standard Bane. Like the spell Bane is kind of garbage anyways, but I mean like the Bane weapon. Like you can't be like, I want a weapon. I mean, you can just make one up or whatever, but there's no like, I want to do an additional 1d6 damage against X creature. This is fun. Haha. And you know,
I thought you were talking about the god.
Oh no, we're not doing that storyline, or are we, Sam?
I hope not.
No.
I don't think Sam knows what the hell you're even talking about.
Sam, do you know who Bane is? If you don't, that's probably a good thing.
Bane from Batman? Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That was the less nerdy response.
We're back, by the way.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
I thought Bane was a spell.
It is. He was also a god in Faerun.
It's a god. It's also an enchantment to put on your weapons that, like, depending on the edition, various different things.
If you're a huge lore nerd, the story of like Bane, Ball, and Mirkul is awesome.
The Black Lord, the Lord of Darkness, Bane.
So, no, the Dead 3. That's what Mathis just mentioned. God, you could just read all of that. You could just wiki or
the game Baldur's Gate is based off. The game Baldur's Gate is based off of one of the Dead 3.
One of the Dead 3, yeah. I mean, but Mirkul, who is, as far as the resources I've always been able to get my hands on, 2nd edition and up, Mirkul is the one with the least information out there about him, but he's like one of the most badass ones. Like the way he died, the fact that he's in a crown right now, like all that stuff. Oh my God, so cool. Lots of fun.
Is it Bane, Cleric, and Shah?
No, it is Bane, Ball, and Mirkul. Cleric is a different god that during the time of troubles wielded a weapon called the Godslayer that was actually masked, transformed into a blade while he was forced into mortality, and used that to kill a couple blah, blah, blah.
Very, very high fantasy. It's really cool. Yeah.
It's fun stuff, but in the meanwhile, a few days later, so flash forwarding a few days, Otto, maybe when he early one morning when he is suffering from a hangover, there's on Otto's door, drawing him from his deep drooling slumber.
Huh? What? Who's there? Hello? Otto gets up, starts walking to the door. Anybody there?
Oh, yes, Otto. I'm yes. Hi. Good morning.
Hi. I'll just open up the door at this point.
Yeah.
Someone comes in and shanks you with a dagger.
Otto, a sunny morning and many blessings to you. I hope luck has fallen in your favor, says a mangled human standing before you. That's all too familiar.
To you as well. Although...
try to sell you Bibles. No, I'm just kidding.
To you as well, although it would certainly seem luck has not been on your side recently, friend.
Well, this is the Cleric of Timora.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, okay. Yes. Hello. Good to see you again.
You as well. Otto, I hope it's not too much of a bother, but I was in the area. I was doing just a morning walk, deep in thought and prayer, when I realized that I was in front of the tavern that I knew that you were staying. And I was wondering if you would be willing to join me in, I mean, it is the ladies' day today. And I was wondering if you'd join me in prayer.
Yeah, Otto is still, nursing a very heavy hangover. Yeah, let me give me a minute. Oh, sure. I'll be right back.
Otto, do not fret. I understand. May her blessings fall upon you and luck guide every step that you take, that they always be fortuitous ones. He says as he places a hand gently on your forehead, casting gentle repose and removing the hangover. Gentle repose, sorry. Lesser restoration.
I was gonna say, he's just keeping his corpse fresh?
No. Removing the hangover.
I don't have clothes on.
I've got.
I don't sleep with clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the day, and I think if I were a little too hungover, I might be just in my skivvies here. Is he comfortable with that?
He doesn't seem to care.
Okay, well there we go. Upon receiving this restorative property, I immediately am like, oh wow, Yeah, great. Okay, let's go. I mean, well, hold on. He goes back and starts to put on clothes.
He waits patiently outside the door. Not like watching.
I was gonna say, if he's like,
I had a feeling Maggie's mind was going there.
I make sure I put on my fancy duds for this as well. Gotta be looking good.
Of course. So he walks with you and he has a light conversation with you guys as you're heading there. The conversation is again, it's light. It's not like he's directly talking about Timora, though she does work away into many things that he talks about anyways, just because he's a man with a cloth.
Yeah.
And not like an obnoxious one either. It's just like his phrasing, you know. He always throws in little coin phrases there. Like when somebody sneezes and you say bless you, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So when he, as he's walking with you, he does mention the fact that you had agreed to help out the city against the Verbeeg and the Hill Giants. And it offers, he's like, I would like to say that it is noble of you and many thanks for your offering.
Noble, yeah. Let's call it that.
Oh, let's not be. She is Timora. She's not just the Lady of Luck. She's also the Lady of Coin. While certainly not Joachim, she understands that a good deed does deserve punishing.
Wait, what?
Does sure? Deserve its reward?
Yeah,
I think is what he's going for.
Is the priest drunk too?
Yeah.
Escalating.
Good deed.
It's all that water, guys.
There's a good deed deserves punishment.
That water.
Coins.
You can get rich. It's fine. She likes money. You're good.
Yeah, more or less, he says there's no shame in taking coin.
Yeah. Well, I certainly echo that sentiment.
As you should. It's how you make your living as an adventurer. Sure, it's a dangerous and a gruesome lifestyle, but it allows others to live a warm and comfortable life. I myself once had a different past than the one I have now, but people like you allow me to pursue my current dreams, and I thank you for that. And I appreciate the fact that you're willing to ask for a reward for what it is that you do.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't value your own time, no one will.
Amen to that sort of thing. And then you continue light conversation as you guys walk. When you get to the place, he does have like a quick little prayer with you, and he invites you to stay for the sermon that he gives that morning. And you do so. At the end of the sermon, he talks with you for a bit longer. And it's one of those, I have to say, I am famished. I'm just realizing that I got up early this morning, lost my head, and haven't had myself a meal yet today. Oh, would you care to join me for a bite?
Well, certainly.
He's watching you get dressed. He's trying to take you out for dinner.
Oh, no.
He goes, yeah, you guys have a meal. And once again, just the conversation the entire time that you're with him. It's a very interesting one. You actually genuinely like this guy. His story is one that you could totally use. So I'm going to give you a super quick version of his backstory. This man was born in a city to the south of here. He joins the city guard, and he was a member of the city guard. He happened to do very well, had a couple of promotions, ended up, because of opportunity and more coin, pursued the life of a mercenary. Lived as a mercenary for many years, all the while, just because of his upbringing, worshiping Timora. One in particular job that he had went very wrong, but he didn't give up the life. Years later, another job went wrong, didn't give up the life. Years after that, decided to give up the life as a mercenary, be a patriot, and joined into a war. Got entirely annihilated at that war. The fact that he survived was the slightest. It was effectively a miracle that he was able to survive this war. And so he kind of like took that as, this miracle allowed me to live. I've had fortune my entire life. I've become extremely wealthy from my actions. I am now going to turn around and spread the word of Timora for what it is that I believe in, and so on. So he is a former adventurer, mercenary warrior that has turned into a cleric.
Yeah. And Otto would be absolutely captivated by this. Yeah, definitely. So this is now my new best friend.
So the story, hours roll into each other, and you guys kind of like it ends up being one of those things where I'm sure Grauman was missing his little friend all day because you guys ended up spending the whole day together, just kind of like hanging out, telling stories, sharing drinks. You know, it was genuinely a good time. But at the end of the night, when you guys are both a little tipsy or whatever, he does say, "Oh, Otto, there was one more thing. I'd like to give you a gift. You're such a kind soul, and we share similar backgrounds. I'd like to give you a gift if you'd be willing to have it."
Oh, that's extremely kind. What is it?
It's actually not entirely mine to give, though she certainly showed no more interest after all the experiences that you've had with it. But it's actually that hunk of gold that Rye had given to me.
Oh, that.
Please, it's nothing so crass. Come with me, and I'll show it to you. And he kind of leads you back to the temple, and he goes over, and he pulls out from underneath the temple. He actually has for a normal sized person. This would be a large coin, like a good sized coin, right? And so for you, it's like a pendant. You know, it's a good size. I imagine for you it'd be about the same size as the thing that gets burned into the hand at the beginning of Indiana Jones.
Oh,
like
dude, you're basically Flava Flav now if you wear it.
There you go. Nice.
Bore a hole through it, thrown on a chain. But what?
Hell yeah.
And it has emblazoned on it, it's the holy symbol of Timora. And it's a large gold coin that's the holy symbol of Timora. And he gives it to you, and as he hands it to you, he says another little prayer to Timora about luck coming on, falling on you and guiding your path, and so on and so forth.
Wow, you've made quite the handiwork of this, haven't you?
Well, there was the smelter in the city. He owed me a favor recently, and I asked him to purify the gold and to make it more workable. And then, I recently won at a game of cards against a jeweler in the city, and he was willing to do the other work for me. So understand that it didn't cost me anything to do this, and it is a gift to you, not from myself, but I suppose from your fortune.
Well, may fortune continue to smile upon us both.
Agrees to that, and that's more or less where the day ends for the two of you, and you kind of are tipsy and able to head your way back to the bar, where I imagine you intend to keep drinking, and you're bumping into your two friends for the first time since they woke up today, and you generally spend every day together.
Wonderful. Oh, these are my two friends, Ryan and Grauman, I'm assuming.
Well, Thunk's not your friend, so.
That is also correct. That is very correct.
Oh no!
Listen, it's the mutual working partnership that we have.
I feel like. Wait. Thunk saved Rye, but that's the only person he cared about, right?
Excuse me, I also left Otto's name out of the bargaining that I did a few weeks back.
Yeah, Otto was number one.
So, feels bad, man. Grauman's the only one not loved. Is it because I didn't cut myself for you? Is this what it is? What
Listen,
did you guys
He's
do?
disappointed.
I'm so disappointed in Grauman. You went to nature. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. You could have gone the path of a berserker. No, it's funny. I had this I'm going to use the word friend in high school years ago, that he wouldn't refer to people as his friends. He would call them acquaintances. He'd be like, no, just my acquaintances. It's like, what a needlessly douchey thing to say.
I mean, I call people my acquaintance if they are my acquaintance.
Like I have only one real friend. Everyone else is just an acquaintance.
If you're in high school, you don't have acquaintances.
It's, again.
You have your bullies and your friends, and that's it.
Oh.
Just me?
There's enemies or allies, and that's it.
Mike,
This is a battle zone.
I did not have any bullies. You poor little boy.
Man, you missed out on formative actions.
Joe just said he didn't have bullies. He had victims.
I had bullies.
He was the top of the
hair.
He was the bully.
He was the bully? Oh, no. It was Mathis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, who are you saying is the bully?
You, asshole.
what?
That's
You
why
weren't
you're the dungeon master.
Cool.
No, anyone who's a DM was never a bully.
Inherently.
I would never do such things. I'm a pacifist.
Don't
Sorry.
listen. I know you. I don't believe you. So
What? I don't do anything wrong ever. I'm just a kind soul.
anyway, let's get back to the game. Continue. Otto meets Rye and
That
Ramen.
means Michael was definitely his strategy is always diversion. Just letting you guys know if you haven't noticed.
It kept me alive when I was younger.
So yeah,
Oh, look, a bear!
what is the priest?
Oh, look, a bear! And then he runs.
What is the priest's name? I imagine I would have picked it up by this point.
I told you guys. God, I should really make notes a little bit more often.
You
No,
didn't
I am like being
because
held
I would have wrote it down in
accountable
my
by
notes.
You guys too.
I actually take notes.
Yes.
I never heard you say the person's name, so
No.
I never wrote it down. I did write Hot Twins denied.
Oh, that's an important one. That's gonna.
So-
Yeah, it was an important moment in Grauman's life, so I
The
made
guard's
sure.
name was Bart.
Yeah, Barton.
Oh, Bart.
And
yeah.
then there's Barnaby.
So this guy
Oh,
can
no,
be
that was the one. Yeah, Barnaby.
This guy-
That's the one I
this
hated.
guy can be Bernard.
Yes,
All
Bernard.
these aggressive B names.
This is what happens, Scott, when you don't drop names. I'm gonna start
This
naming
is
them.
like the trend of the town. Most men in the town have like a name that begins with
Most men's names start with this ugly
It's
plosive.
easier to say when you're getting cold. You're like Bernard, and that's it. Done.
No, his name is Blen.
Blen?
B-L-E-N.
No, dude, no.
B-L-E-N.
Yeah.
There you go.
did this.
You wanna
I mean,
be-
I like Bernard better than Glenn.
Oh,
I can't even get that out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Bland.
Blen.
What?
Bernard, at least it could be like.
No, he's not- he's not-
Bernard.
He's not from this region originally. Remember, he could kind of speak another language or whatever. So he's actually, if you want to stick with the B name, it'll be Bovek.
Okay.
So
I can
'cause he's
live
not
with
from this
Bovek.
region.
He was a
Bovek makes me
mercenary.
think of,
Mercenaries don't
Star
get hired
Wars.
if they're called Blen.
Or like,
He had to be called Bovek.
And this is my
Oh,
bodyguard, Blen. Say hi, Blen.
No.
Hi, Glenn.
His name as a mercenary was like Lord Murder. Okay, it was Blen was the name he didn't tell anybody. You know.
You went on the complete
That's-
opposite end of the
That's
spectrum.
why
Nobody's
he
gonna take it
retired, because
seriously.
someone actually found out his real name, and then he had to hang up the game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Got too embarrassed.
I'm totally gonna be the dad of a little girl here. If you've ever seen Tangled, when you find out Ryder's real name is Eugene, it's like no, my real name's Eugene.
Oh yeah.
Like because Ryder's so.
What's wrong with the name Eugene? I feel like
Well, I
Eugene
mean,
is in the world
Eugene
of
is a lot
Marvel.
less cool than Flynn Rider.
Yeah.
That's it, Flynn Ryder. That's right.
Flynn
that's right.
Rider.
I like the fact that I tried to make a reference, and then Sam even corrected it, making.
Oh yeah, I've seen Tangled like
No.
100 times.
Sam is well known in this world as like a D&D princess or a Disney princess
And a D&D princess.
and a
let's
D&D
not-
princess.
D&D
too.
Disney
I'm just a
princess.
princess.
He
All right.
legit
We're
has
gonna get
worn
back to
a
the game.
wig and a dress. So.
We're gonna get back to the game, but just Sam. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Probably Rapunzel.
I'm really glad you gave that a lot of thought. That was that
Yeah,
made me really
that's
believe
a-
that you know your
That's a
stuff.
tough one for me.
He's like, well, I've
She's the
watched
most modern.
Tangled
She's
100
balanced
times.
Factors.
How many times have I watched the other ones?
Oh, that's funny. All right, now back to the game. Rapunzel.
Bovek is his name.
Am I gonna get any love for the Hey Arnold shirt, by the way?
Can't see it, but hey,
Look
Arnold.
at the football head.
Dude, let's talk about Helga and how she's a fucking creeper.
Let's
She's
talk
weird.
about the game.
He has a fucking shrine in her closet. She's basically Thonk. Thonk is Helga.
All right.
So we
So,
can play.
Flash-
Yeah, my bad.
Flashing forward another couple of days, he ends up coming to you guys, and so Cassius comes and finds you guys, and he tells you where it is that you guys will be staying. He does bring you to a home, your humble abode. So, assuming you guys would rather stay at a place that's yours, correct me if I'm wrong, so that's yours as opposed to in a hotel room all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does bring you to a humble abode. He says it's the nicest one he can get his hands on, and the house actually is nice. However, it only has 3 bedrooms inside of it, not 4, but
He
it
did
does
this
have
purposely.
because of like where this place is. It does have because of where this place is, it's very rare. But this particular house has a foundation. That doesn't usually happen. It was an old dwarven home, which is why they're able to carve it out and build a foundation. So there's a basement on top of the fact that it is a house with 3 bedrooms, kitchen and outhouse and all that. So, yay home. You guys can figure out your own sleeping arrangements. I assume Thonk just sleeps outside so he can feel the icy cold wind on his nipples in the middle of the winter as he walks around shirtless. So
You're only alive if you're in pain 24/7. So
I feel like Grommen and Addo would share.
Yeah.
I feel like that would even if Otto didn't want that to happen.
Rye takes up the smallest room, and she's like, "This is mine."
Otto's just a puppy at the foot of the bed for Grommen.
she's like, I'm the only girl. Of course I get my own room.
Yeah, and it's Ladies' Day.
I think we'd all be okay.
Ladies' Week.
Yep.
Grommen will rock, paper, scissors for a room.
Oh, God.
While you're looking for someone to rock paper scissors, Thonk picks a room and shuts the door.
There's only one room left, and you and Addo.
Grommen looks at Addo and like,
Okay, so you guys are able to make your way. So this happens whenever he brings you to this place. He shows you the room, and inside the like the kitchen or the dining or living area, whatever it is inside this building, he does show to you a couple of small little chests that are lined up, and inside each of them is 500 gold pieces, as promised. It's all inside there. On top of that, he does give you the name and location of his quartermaster, so you guys can go and get together the things that you need to do. And he says that he's been speaking with a few of the people that kind of like so it's the quartermaster and the captain of the guard. So speaking with them, trying to coordinate when it is that they're going to be doing this. They're trying to do it sooner rather than later. It's already snowed again. Twice, sorry. So try to do it sooner rather than later, because waiting for the middle of the winter is when they're going to attack. So they're just coordinating out the details. However, there is going to be a meeting in a couple of days, and he would like for you guys to attend to it, or at least anybody that has the most information of what it is that you had seen can draw out a map if you want to do that in advance. That'd be helpful. So you can describe the situation so that they can kind of plan their attack accordingly. So he kind of like throws all that at you, like, get ready, we're going to have a meeting, and then we will coordinate the attack otherwise.
Grommen needs paper.
Yeah. So, of course, he does say that when you speak to the quartermaster, he'll be able to supply you with inks and parchment and stuff like that, so you can do these sort of things. And he suggests that you speak to him soon so that you can get your like stuff prepared, so you know that you're good to go. The quartermaster's name is Cardon, Kardon, Cardon, and so you guys will go and speak to him. Do you want to have any quick little chat with each other before you go talk to him, or meh?
I have nothing to talk about, so.
Okay, awesome. So when you guys get there, we're not going to have a fun little shopping scene. We're just going to keep this kind of quick with the quartermaster. Sorry, when you guys go there and you meet this man, he's very gruff, to the point. He understands that you are here to help out the city. He doesn't offer you like a thank you or anything like that because of it, but he's obviously not like he's not able to grovel at the feet of every adventurer that takes a lot of money to do a job. You know what I mean? He's that kind of person. He's like, you're here for a job. Here's stuff. Tell me what you need. So just really quickly, is there anything off the top of your heads that you guys think that you might need? So obviously, like winter traveling clothes, yes. Climbing gear, yes. Rations and stuff like that, yes. Oh, my crappy dagger is old and okay, new dagger. Things like that, no problem. You guys are able to switch them out. Oh, my armor is not very okay. Switch that out. Anybody need to change out their armor?
I don't think I have like any armor, do I? I think I have some fancy clothes, and that might be it.
You are wearing leather.
Okay.
Because your AC is a 13. You could upgrade that to studded leather. Your strength can definitely handle it. You can upgrade that to studded leather, and it will increase your AC by 1.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you will switch that on your character sheet, and you get the 14 AC. Anybody else, anything like that? Anybody picking up shield?
Armor.
Huh?
I'm wearing hide armor.
You are. Where is it? Grommen. So Grommen is, yeah, whether or not you wear armor, you have the same AC right now, because hide gives you 2 and has disadvantage technically on stealth checks, but meh. So that gives you 2, or you can use your constitution and have 2. Your dex gives you 2 and you get 1 from your cloak. So did you want to upgrade to a different medium armor? That'd be better since you're not using your constitution anyways.
I mean, why not?
Sure. So what they'd be willing to do is they can't give you everything for free, but they'd be willing to give you breastplate for, I believe, 100 gold pieces. Give me 1 second. And breastplate is arguably the best medium armor. Yeah, it is. Bam. Yeah, 100 gold pieces he'll give you breastplate for.
Okay.
Where are you? Why can I not find you? Okay, so that takes care of Grommen and a nice little.
How
That's
much
a
does that give me?
2-point upgrade for Grommen.
What?
Is that a 2-point armor upgrade for Grommen?
I don't know how much does it give me. 4?
I believe breastplate gives you 14. Yeah.
Oh, 14. Okay, yeah, that is a 2-point upgrade. And also, it doesn't. That's not an option in this PDF. So that's awkward. It's fine.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, I think the PDF you guys have. I think I have a better PDF, but I will. We'll talk about that a different time. So I'm just gonna get the rules for you super quick, Maggie. So breastplate is, yeah, so he's giving it 1/4 the cost. It's 14 plus max dex of 2, which is what you have. You don't have disadvantage on stealth checks, and it weighs barely more than what you're currently wearing, which you don't care about anyways, okay? Anybody else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Health potions might be good.
Definitely health potions. This falls along the lines of stuff that he won't just be able to give to you for free.
Yeah,
So
no.
generally- I'm sorry?
Rye's looking to buy some. She knows they're not going to be free.
So health potions generally go for 50 gold pieces each. They're willing to part ways with them for 40 gold pieces each. For you guys, 20% discount.
All right, I'll grab 2.
I do. So you guys, as a party, have a ton of gold. Is this one of those things where you usually just kind of like pool together money and buy a stock of potions, or meh?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably just the smartest way to do it.
And that's if you're buying. That's if you're buying the cheapest potions. There are better versions of that if you wanted to.
Grommen would also like to buy a bunch of wood.
Interesting, but
Or you
Or
could
just
just go
have a bunch
shop.
of wood if wood is available to him.
You literally have 5 axes. And we
No, but
live.
this isn't for axes. You just hush your mouth. You don't even know.
You
just
don't
chop some
even
wood.
know.
Grommen has plans.
Go
Go
chop
out-
some wood.
Go outside and chop some wood.
Maggie, you can have wood.
Okay, cool.
The man gives you wood,
For
Grommen.
his carvings.
So there is also the potion of greater healing. So a regular potion of healing is 2d4 plus 2. Potion of greater healing is 4d4 plus 4. But that one's going to be significantly more pricey. So he'll sell those to you guys for 150 gold pieces each.
No, let's just do the shitty ones.
Okay. So you take a couple of shitty potions.
What do you want to do? Do you want to just get like 6 for the group?
Yeah, we've got 2,000 gold that we could utilize right now, right?
Yeah.
Between 4 of us. So,
So if we get like 6, then that is going to be 440 gold. No.
no, that's
Math
6
is
times
bad.
40, 240 gold.
Yes, 200.
We could just get 1 per person, right?
Or 2 per.
2 per.
Yeah,
They're going to be
Get
shitty. Our hit points are pretty big now,
300,
so.
320 gold for 8.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
let's
bad.
do. Why don't we do 8? Yeah, and we each take 2.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There you go. There's also, he does say, so roll me a persuasion check, Addo and Rye, because the 2 of you are the charming ones that often chat.
Mm-hmm.
That is a,
Damn.
Jesus Christ. That's a 24 for Addo and a 23 for Rye. Holy crap. So
We are persuasive.
Yes, you are.
As you guys are chatting, one of the things he does say is, I do have a few other potions you might be interested in. And he pulls out 3 vials of something that looks like it's icy blue. He's like, these would protect you against, the weather out there.
Now these may fall in the line along the lines of what you might deem a necessary provision, wouldn't you think?
I am willing to part ways with these for 150 each.
Ooh, 150. I'd look over at Rye. 150. I don't know.
That's a
about
bit
that.
steep to save your town.
That's risking our lives out there. Gonna get pretty cold. I think
Listen, I haven't even showed these to anybody else.
that's because we are not
That's
like
because no one's going to pay 150.
So, no, you don't have to roll. With your 24 and 23, he's like, all right, 115 each.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I could do with that.
Yeah.
How about we get 4 for the group?
There's only 3 of them. So you say, how about 4 for the group? And he kind of like looks down at them, the 3 in his hand. He says, there's only 3, but if you are looking to spend a bit more coin, and he pulls out another potion, and this one's like a murky green with like black liquid kind of like floating through it. He says, he picks up this one and lays it in his hand as well. He's like, this one right here would probably be for your friend over there, and gestures towards Grommen.
What does it do?
Well, let's just say that when you guys are up in those caves and taking care of what needs to be taken care of, your friend over there will be up for the challenge of any size.
I look over at Rye with wide eyes.
Viagra? We don't need that.
I thought that was blue.
This
I think
episode
he's
of Lost
doing
Nation brought
okay
to you by
down here.
Cialis.
How much?
Well, you're already spending 345. Why don't we just round that to 450?
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to see that.
Okay, so you guys grab 3 potions of cold resistance and 1 potion of give it to Grommen.
Potion of give it to Grommen.
Okay. Other than all of that stuff, you guys have nothing else that you're looking to grab, purchase, or anything like that. So we're going to push off from this place. Maggie's looking like she really is. She's like, I don't want to miss an opportunity here.
I think I'm good. But before we go off, Grommen's going to take some time to, with maybe Otto's help and it kind of, or maybe even Rye too, kind of explaining to them what he wants to do. The basic gist of it, from what you guys gather after he tries to explain it in his horrible way, is that he's looking for the animals that would be most prominent in the areas, and he's going to make like a map and carve each of the animals for the area of the people that we're fighting.
Okay.
Little miniatures.
Yeah. It's like, you know, when you look at the war maps and they have like, this is how many troops are there. And so he's going to make like 3 doves or whatever the creature is. That,
She's also gonna carve out like a shuffleboard stick so she can move the minis that way.
Yeah.
She needs to buy more wood for that, though.
She got the wood for free, Mathis. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth, Mathis.
You're telling me there wasn't a single merchant willing to take advantage of Grommen looking to buy wood?
Well, luckily she got it from the quartermaster. Mathis,
I'm just looking.
I'm gonna Facebook your old high school bullies.
Oh no! Don't do it.
All right, so
Look what you've done. You've made Bear drink all of his wine. He's like, oh my God.
All right. So you guys are anything else you want to? So they give you ideas for animals for you to carve, and Grom's going to start carving those. Doesn't seem like you guys have anything else in mind, though.
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Perfect. Cool. So a couple days later, you guys put together this map. So everybody, of course, worked on it, even though Maggie saw the most stuff. She's described it to them, and well, they all know how to speak Ramen speak. So what is it you guys try to put together for a presentation to give to the rest of the city folk?
I didn't know we needed a PowerPoint prep.
No. You give me the gist, and we don't have to RP it.
Grumman like rolls out a giant map that people have helped him out with, and he comes in and he places all these different animals on the different areas of like, and he's made a couple extra of each of them because he doesn't know how many troops, so he's waiting to see, but he places I guess because are we just like invading the giants? That's what we're doing right now.
Correct.
Yeah, so he places one of the eagles in each of those positions or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, it kind of shows that out, draws like a rough sketch of the cave, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
In crayon? No, just kidding.
Of the outside of the cave and the three things. So you guys go there and you give this presentation. I assume Otto is the one that leads it up with his performance check, unless somebody else has a performance that they want to help out with. Maybe
No.
Thonk want to join in, or does
I
he
think
just sit there
Ramen
and
can
give
help,
it?
but he's not going to be that helpful.
Yeah.
All right, roll performance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
15 performance to explain everything else. So you get your point across very well. Otto does a very good job of explaining to others what it is that he's trying to accomplish, what it is, or what the place looks like, and blah, 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 blah. They'll understand it. So there's conversations with them, there's conversations with the different peoples. And finally they say, after it's all said and done, they're like, well, we know that we need to hit from both areas. It's going to be the first area to get to, the one that you guys saw, was a bit of a sheer cliff. Well, not quite a sheer cliff edge, but it was the front of the cave. It was a cliff that you'd have to climb to get to that ledge, which is the front of the cave. Getting there is maybe the easier of the multiple options because it is the front door. However, they more easily see whoever's approaching. If you guys are going to the back way, which is where you had seen the guy with the book beforehand, you're going to be going through straight up mountainous region in the middle of the winter, which is dangerous in and of itself. But that would get you to the back way and easily in. And then you had mentioned beforehand the chimney, but considering there's smoke coming up from it, it's very likely that there's fire inside the chimney. And so that could be a very dangerous task to just try to go in that way. All that being said, one of the things that they kind of turn their focus to is you guys and asking, well, you have the most information. You know, you're one of the groups, blah, blah, blah. Where is it that you would like to approach this task if you were to go in? The easy way up the front and take them head on while others go the other directions, or the hard way around back and then maybe try to catch them off guard? Or do you want to take the chimney? Another hard way to get there, but would put you somewhere in the middle.
Consulting with the team in metagame here. What do you guys think?
Anytime we try to do anything stealth, it fucking fails.
Anytime you try to send me and Rye to do anything stealthy, it turns into a not stealth mission.
Well, now we have Grumman can scout. But why wouldn't we send troops to, obviously, why wouldn't we send troops always except for the front? Or maybe send a distraction to the front so it distracts a bunch of people to come to the front and kind of like make their forces go that way while we sneak in another way.
That sounds sound to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We'll roll with that.
Okay. So you guys want to have a small group of people go to the front while most people go around back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or some kind of distraction of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, considering that the larger force is going to be the collective guards, well, predominantly brought forward from Bryn Shander, but some guards brought forward from other cities, as well as a group of adventurers joining in as well.
Yeah, we could literally just get like a few people that are like lighter armored, fleet of foot, and just like send them out front and have them just like retreat after causing a commotion.
So you say that lighter armor, fleet of foot, send them in there, retreat, and he's as you're saying that he's like, yes, this is Cassius, and a few of the other people kind of like nodding, thinking of it, and then the quartermaster who you guys had met with beforehand actually kind of gestures to you guys and say, hey, you guys are pretty light armored.
I knew that was coming.
Literally, the only one that's wearing armor worth note is Grommen, who it looks like a t-shirt on Grommen. He's like, and you're pretty fleet of foot. I mean, you're able to get through a Yeti and before that, flee from it when things weren't going well. Maybe you guys should go in.
Grommen looks at his feet and he's like, am I light of foot?
Well, you're kind of missing out on a lot of firepower, you know, if you don't use us for the other stuff.
No, this actually might work out because if you're the distraction that way, that allows us to get the main force in the other way. And then after you cause a distraction enough that they come forward and you hide, once they're then counter-distracted by the other side and they realize what's going on over there, that allows you to once again go back in that way. And yeah, no, this could actually work out. We send the main force through the back entrance and send you guys to the front as start off as a distraction, but then as things wage on to join into the fray.
Will the main force have trouble navigating through the mountains?
We will have our best scouts. As a matter of fact, the Cassius says, we have our best scouts. As a matter of fact, you met one of them at my home a couple weeks back.
Oh, yes.
They will lead the men sure-footed through the mountains.
I can't argue against their logic.
Yeah.
Because
Thong just satisfied.
Thong just looks to Otto because their logic is your idea.
Well,
God. Well, this is what we're doing. So
that's the idea. All right,
here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, we're not going to be heading out for another 2 weeks' time.
Oh, okay.
There is going to be bad weather between now and then. So if you haven't quite picked yourselves up a pair yet, maybe you should go and find yourselves some snowshoes, really reinforced ones, he says to Grommen, and practice using them. If you're not familiar with how to use them, it could be awkward and slow you down.
Fair enough.
Grommen looks at his feet again. He's just like, He's like,
why all these feet references?
Cassius has a foot fetish, you know. So with that, it's, let's it go there. Kind of like meeting adjourns. Do you guys have any little side conversations afterwards?
I go up to the party and I say, well, that was not exactly what we had in mind, was it?
why they care so much about my feet?
They're just not used to seeing such strong masculine feet, Grommen.
Grommen gets like a little bit of pride. Then he's like,
I guess
"Oh,
we don't
okay."
have to do much fighting, so it's kind of worked out.
Yeah, we more or less make out like bandits, don't we? We just have to avoid everything.
Yeah, as long as things go exactly as planned, like they always do.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Grommen just says exactly because he sees everyone else say exactly.
Thong shakes his head and starts leaving.
So, a couple days later is actually the meeting with the representatives of the different 10 towns. And Cassius does send word to Thunk that if he's willing to speak at the meeting, he's welcome to speak at the meeting, to try to make his plight as to why he should be allowed to have a temple of Grumsh here.
I didn't say a temple, first of all. I said a place to openly worship is all.
Yep. He said
Purple.
that was the word that was sent to you was that.
A palace to Grump.
Right? A mansion to Grumsh. I will go.
Everyone else dead except for those that worship Grumsh.
I'll go.
Okay, so you head to that meeting and you meet the different elders. I mean, they're of all different types. There's, actually not all different types. There's 10 towns. Of the 10 towns, there are, I believe it's 9 humans and 1 halfling that are all there for the meeting. And they, after like you listen to the tail end, because you get called in at one point because you're locked out for most of it. You're called in at one point and you hear the tail end of what they're talking about. And then they kind of turn the floor to you, wherein they say,
before I go into this meeting, can I cast a spell on myself?
Absolutely. Now, you would probably do it right before you walk in.
Yeah, it lasts an hour as long as I hold it. It's enhance ability. I'm just going to give myself Eagle Splendor and give myself advantage on all charisma checks.
Perfect.
So I'm assuming a persuasion check is going to be needed. So.
What? No.
I know, really strange. We'll see if it happens.
All right. So you go in there and have your conversation with them. So the floor is yours. So as you stand there, as you're like kind of like walking over towards like the middle of everybody
very
else.
clearly bearing the burn on my chest, the mark.
Of course, you usually have a big, heavy cloak on you to keep you warm. Actually, we're going to get to that in a second. That's part of the equipment thing. And then you kind of like, throw it so it's sitting behind your shoulders, very 300 style, so they can, see how cold you are. And the room is set up so that there is 3 tables set up like a U shape, so they're all kind of sitting around and you speaking can stand between them.
Okay.
And, even before you go to stand in the spot, one of them says to you, "Why should we allow that when they have only ever tried to kill us?"
Is he saying that to me, or is he saying that to like, as you say, like addressing the room?
You, and it's one of the humans. He's got like a mop of black hair.
I actually don't answer, and I continue walking until I get to my position where I'm supposed to speak. I just completely ignore him.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
so as you get to your spot and you're kind of like turning to face someone, whatever, he goes, "Maybe he's too dumb to hear us. Why should we allow your kind and your faith when all you want to do is kill everyone else?"
Getting to where I speak and standing straight, I'll actually unhook like my books and place them onto the whatever stand is in front of me, and then I will turn, starting at the opposite end of where this human was, and look everybody in the eye and like acknowledge them, getting to him last, and then I'll sit back and then I'll wait for him to ask me one more time.
You were asked a question. Do you need me to repeat? Do you not speak this language?
I was waiting for you to have the respect to allow me to approach the stand before shouting in my ear like a rabid animal.
Speaking of rabid animals, how many times have I had to fend off the attacks of those foaming at the mouth orcs, screaming and prostrating themselves to their worship of Grumsh? I'm sorry. There are a handful of your kinds that are tolerable, but most of them, ones that worship your fallen god, no. I have no desire to allow this kind of heresy inside my region of the realms.
And yet here you are, throwing thousands of gold at the orcs' feet to save you from some hill giants. And
absolutely. Every tool has its use. And with that,
I actually agree.
a few of the people like around the table are like, ugh, with that one.
You don't see Thonk actually wince or get angry at that, because he actually respects that particular look, or the outlook on life. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of nods and he goes, and he says, "I agree. Every tool has its use, and every person at some point in their life, or every being, is a tool, whether that tool be for their god or for the person paying them one way or another. And it just so happens that Timora has given you the luck of 4 able adventurers from a different part of the world to stumble their way here. And now we're here to save you. And you're going to pay us and give us the necessary means to do so."
Yes. Yes, all this. Yes, one of many people who are being paid to go do this job. Don't think that you sit on some pedestal.
I actually.
I'm not sure what they teach. I'm not sure what they teach you in those drafty little skin-covered huts that you grew up in.
Do you know what they say about frightened animals, man? Or he's an old man, I'm assuming.
He's actually not very old.
Oh, okay.
He's mid to late 30s.
So I just say, do you know what they say about frightened animals? They scream the loudest when they're backed into a corner. Why are you so afraid?
Because I've had to fend off orc horde after orc horde after orc horde.
And are you afraid you're about to lose?
The news from the south, after what's happened, no. Now, if the dwarves can fall, then why is it that 10 towns can't? Why should I allow you a foothold?
10 towns can fall. You're right. And you have no reason to believe that I don't wish to take down 10 towns other than your faith in your own god. But what better way to learn an enemy than to have that enemy in the center of your city?
One of the other people speaks up for the first time and says, there is benefit to keeping your, what's the old phrase? Friends close, enemies closer. It is nice to make truces, alliances with those that we don't like. Truces and alliances is how it happens in Mithril Hall. The man shouts out. He's like, no, we can't allow these things to have a foothold here. I have no problem with orcs as a species. I have a problem with that worship. That is the mindset of just murder and kill and spread. It's a plague. And like any other plague, it needs a cure to be found. And I think this cure is one through fire. Let Tempest have his way with them.
I'm trying to think. I think I know who Tempest is. But that doesn't...
warrior god of
right.
battle fury. And
so I'll trying to maintain composure here. I gestured to him. Is that not what all religions seek to do? Spread their word, spread their beliefs, spread their religion?
Yes, but without bloodletting along the way.
Religion tends to bring bloodshed regardless of who you worship, lest we forget what happened less than 20 years ago. Even those we worship tend to make mistakes themselves.
I was silent. There was murmuring around the room. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were just so there was murmuring in the core.
Yeah, when you made the reference.
Okay. Actually, then I'll let that sit and I'll let that hang.
Yep. The murmuring quiets down, and you were saying, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even those that we worship are far from perfect.
One of the other peoples says, he said his word. Now it's time that we have ours. I, for one, am somebody that believes that everyone has a right to worship whatever it is that they wish to. There's a reason why 10 Towns has become as affluent as it has, if you wish to call it that, why it's been able to succeed this far out in these horrible conditions, why it is that people ever even want to come here, is because 10 Towns is known as a place where you can go when there's no one else to go. It's a place where everyone can find a place when there's no place to be found. It is just that. And while I also grew up watching the bloodshed of the orc hordes, that doesn't necessarily mean that every single solitary worshiper of that faith has that same outlook and wishes to do those same things. And who's to say that it isn't non-orcs that turn their faith to Grumsh? There could be others that find faith there, and perhaps that'll help change the mind of, oh, are you saying that there's going to be some sort of cultural mingling happening here? Oh, God. You've had your words, and you can be quiet now. I'm speaking. I say, yay, you may do this. However, the purchase of the lands, that's going to be on you, and between you and Cassius, and how it is that you fund the building of this place or whatever it may be, that's on you. I don't say we divert any of our funds to construction, but I do vote that you should be able to have the right to construct such a place if you wish to do so. And with him saying that, a few people that seem like maybe they were on the fence before, they actually are kind of like nodding along with that, like, oh, that's actually not a bad option there. And he does end it with, you've already offered to sacrifice a quite the tithe of 500 gold for this right. So who are we to not allow such a thing to happen? And, people, again, that may have been on the fence are kind of nodding along with that as well. The person that was kind of silenced is looking upset at the moment. One of the people that happened to be listening the whole time but hasn't really chimed in, kind of just like sitting there and seems bored with the meeting, is the halfling that's sitting there. Cassius is, listening fully, trying to take the advice of everybody else. Is that one angry person and a few others that don't seem convinced yet. Floor goes back to you.
I mean, he made his point. I made my point. He made his. I really don't know what else I could put in at this point.
Yeah. I would say, sorry, just to give it more accurate, I would say 4 people are definite, like they would say yes. Then there's 3 people that are definite no's, leaving you with Cassius, who's probably on the fence, the halfling who doesn't seem to be paying attention, and another person who's probably on the fence.
Okay. I can make it a little bit easier for those who are curious and wish for the safety of this town. You deny me this opportunity and the 4 of us walk.
And so the one that was silenced before, it's like, oh, and of course he resorts to an ultimatum. He has to take back a deal already struck just because he's not getting his way. You knew, Cassie's told us everything. You knew that you had an opportunity, that your sacrificing that was for
Did Cassius neglect to tell you?
The money was for you to do this.
Did Cassius neglect to tell you that I brought this up during the deals?
I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't hear.
Did Cassius neglect to tell you that this was brought up while the deal was being made?
Cassius does kind of raise his hand to make sure that it gets both of your attention. He says, yes, I everything was said, and to be clear of how everything did play out, you agreed with your companions to assist us for the price of 1,000 gold. After the agreement was made, you offered for me to keep 500 in exchange for this opportunity, and I am completely upholding my end of the bargain. And if this vote does not go through, then I have every intention of still giving you your 500 gold pieces. It was an exchange of 500 gold for the right to worship. That was the deal. If you don't win your right, you don't spend the gold.
If I don't win my right, you don't necessarily have the 4 of us.
So now you're altering another bargain.
I'm giving you the best bargain.
He's kind of upset about this.
I look at him and go, I'm giving you the bargain I deem the most valuable.
I'm not very happy that is the way that
I raise my hand. I don't care about your happiness.
Well, you've said your piece, and I think we can leave it here, and we'll have a vote. Just so that you're aware of how this works here, the vote is going to have to be a 7-3 in your favor for you to take this.
You know the stakes, and I'll put my robe back up, and I'll grab my books. Be like, I hope you choose wisely, and I'll turn and start leaving.
Okay. And he leaves. With that, we will take our next break and come back shortly.
Sounds good. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.